Hello, I'm Martin Ralph from Liverpool, England. I'm the Vice President of Liverpool TUC, and I'd like to send May Day greetings to the CSP-Conlutas in Brazil. We ourselves are organising a May Day demonstration on Sunday, and the main slogan of that is that all refugees are welcome here. I know that we are an ocean apart, but we are united in a common struggle against corruption, against austerity, and against the misery that capitalism is bringing to this world. We can see the working class is struggling against these attacks by the general strikes that have taken place in Greece, Italy, and France just on Thursday. There was a great victory for the people of Liverpool on Wednesday, 27th of April. The families of the Liverpool football fans who died at the Hillsborough Football Stadium in Sheffield in 1989 won a victory. The Hillsborough inquest ruled finally that their loved ones were unlawfully killed and cleared fans of any blame for the disaster. In 1989, the police authorities in charge that day made huge mistakes which resulted in the death of 96 people. But their families and friends have continued to fight for the last 27 years, fighting for truth and for justice. Even while football fans lay dying on the pitch, the lies were invented and continued by the police, by the press, and there must have been a very wide conspiracy acting against the working class and the people of Liverpool. In 1989, Thatcher had spent 10 years attacking the working class, and this was part of that process. In the course of all the research that was done, it was found that some of the football fans could have been saved and actually died. In the aftermath, the police are known to have falsified at least 118 statements. So they won a victory last Wednesday for truth, for justice, for all those people who acted unlawfully. The heads of various establishments still walk free. So the justice is there to be fought for. The lesson for the world working class: never give up. Never stop your struggle for your fights. Because these families continued every day for the last 27 years. And on Wednesday, there was a commemoration for the dead and a celebration for the living. And long may it continue. I would like to tell you about a strike that's been going on in Britain by the junior doctors. These doctors work for the National Health Service, and the Tory government is trying to impose a new contract on them. They are totally opposed to this, and they are receiving a lot of support from the public. On the 26th and 27th of April, they had a full withdrawal of labour from the hospitals. And that follows 6 days of strike that they've been organising since January. There are 37,000 junior doctors in Britain, and when the ballot took place, 99% voted in favour of industrial action and 98% for full strike action that clearly demonstrates the feeling of this sector of workers. In February, the Secretary of State for Health confirmed his intention to impose a contract and even published the final terms and conditions at the end of March. They are determined to privatise the National Health Service, and this is one way in which they're trying to do it. But the spirit is very high, and there's a lot more talks of strike and even an indefinite strike. The Tory government is going to find it very difficult to privatise an institution that has a budget of £116 billion. So they try in different ways. One way they want to privatise the National Health Service and many public services is to use devolution. It's a good tactic for them, because those involved in devolution in the north of England, for example Merseyside, and Liverpool is part of Merseyside, or the northeast and other areas, well, these areas are controlled by the Labour authorities, and these Labour authorities are fully behind devolution, and in this particular case the privatisation, the regional privatisation of the National Health Service. Nobody in the leadership of the Labour Party, Jeremy Corbyn or anyone else, is creating a big fuss about that. I would like to finish this May Day greetings to CSP-Conlutas in perhaps an unusual way, because 400 years ago William Shakespeare died. However, before he did, he lived for some years under James I, and he sensed, and I think could feel, the changes that were taking place even then, that 30 or 40 years later would erupt in the English bourgeois revolution. And of course one of the central questions there was putting an end to the corruption and thieving of the king against Parliament and the people of England. In the end, of course, Cromwell and his fellow fighters had to execute the king to preserve the revolution. So it is interesting to look at some of the things that Shakespeare was writing at that time, because they speak directly to us today in a political way and in a struggle way. It is in the play Coriolanus, written by 1608, that Shakespeare talks about revolt, and in this play someone called the first citizen said, "You are all resolved to die than to famish. Our suffering is their gain." There are those who try to contain the uprising by saying that the rulers are fathers to the people, i.e. they care for the people. And this is what the first citizen replies: "Care for us? True, indeed. They never cared for us yet. Suffer us to famish, and their storehouses crammed with grain, make edicts for usury to support the usurers, repeal daily any wholesome act established against the rich, and provide more piercing statutes daily to chain up and restrain the poor. If the wars eat us not up, they will, and theirs all the love they bear us." These feelings, no doubt, are echoed across the world today. And today we can put an end to the misery of our class by building the international working class struggle to put an end to austerity and all the self-seekers. So we say from Liverpool TUC and from the working class here, we need an independent, class struggle. We are many, they are few. Indigenous or immigrant, we are one working class. And we are for a workers' world without borders. I hope you have a good day.